Kailyn Lowry, a Teen Mom alum, disclosed that her kid Rio is getting tubes in his ears at the medical facility on Friday morning. Rio, 1, was born prematurely and spent 8 weeks in the neonatal intensive care unit, NICU, Kailyn revealed to her admirers last week. Kailyn shared a picture of Rio walking into the hospital this morning. Elijah, his father, held his hands to assist the young child in walking. In the picture, Elijah's hand was covering Rio's face. Kailyn included a question area and asked her admirers for assistance. Rio is getting tubes in his ears this morning, revealed the former teen mom. Her admirers were asked what to expect after, and did you do anything special when the anesthesia wore off? Following the slide on Instagram, Kailyn shared a video announcing that Rio had recently had a very bad case of pink eye, and 3 of her children suffer from the condition. Kailyn said, 3 of my kids are at the pediatrician this morning and Rio is at the hospital. The former MTV personality hasn't released a statement. Kailyn gave her fans an update on Rio's birth tale last week. Elijah was seated next to and gazing down at his newborn baby, who was laying in a hospital bed and hooked up to oxygen, in the first photo she shared on social media. The image that followed showed Kailyn cuddling her infant during his intubation. Kailyn appeared to be cuddling her infant extremely tenderly while donning a mask. She'd also uploaded another picture of the NICU's medical supplies without Rio. The baby was surrounded by a group of medical professionals and nurses in the last image. Not long after Rio's birth, they seemed to be administering medical treatment and doing testing. A year later, we finally get to tell Rio's birth story, she wrote as the post's caption. Kailyn received an overwhelming amount of love and support from her admirers in the post's comment area. One said, "It's gorgeous. The last picture has some faces I recognize. 8 weeks were spent in that NICU. What took place?" Another person said, "I love that you are sharing all of this. I missed seeing your gorgeous kids." Another one wrote, "This is a NICU preterm mom. When you realize how resilient your child is and how strong you are to go through it, it's the scariest but also the most rewarding time." "Aw, what a little bean," exclaimed a fan. "I'm so happy you now feel comfortable enough to tell your tale." A 5th fan wrote, "As a mom of 3 NICU babies, they make us stronger than ever." In her podcast, Barely Famous, Kailyn talked about her 5th child's pregnancy and her experiences. The entire program included the couple talking into detail about how they found out she was pregnant, how they bought multiple pregnancy tests, how they had their first ultrasound, and how they gave delivery. Elijah described the first doctor's appointment. "We went together, and based on the tiny app she was using to track the pregnancy, you were meant to be 6 or 7 weeks along when we were there in the room." The ultrasonography tech entered, completed the scan, and remained silent throughout. "You kept asking her, 'Is there a heartbeat?' And you sobbed all weekend after she replied, 'No, I can't find one.'" They confirmed the physicians had discovered a heartbeat, and she was indeed pregnant when they returned for another ultrasound session in the next weeks. Declaring that they hardly got to see him as he came out, Kailyn described the birth as traumatizing and clarified that she only got to hold him for maybe 3 seconds. Rio was transported straight to the NICU, and the Teen Mom 2-star claimed that about 6 nurses had hands on him at that time. Kailyn stated, "I was so upset," while crying. "It was really frightening, and I was beside myself when I told you that." She was so furious, according to Elijah, that he didn't have a chance to cry and process the birth of his baby.